As a certain Cambodian nihilist once said, memes are the DNA of the soul. They shape our will, they are our culture, they are everything we pass on. Oh, if only he knew. Yes, we're going to discuss quite possibly one of the most notorious games of the 2010s, one that is painfully mediocre in some areas, but an absolute riot in others. So through all the faults, the ups, the downs, the memes, oh, there's so many memes, let's talk about Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. Metal Gear Rising Revengeance? Not a word? It's not? Alright then. Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, what a stupid name, is a hack and slash game developed by Platinum Games and published by Konami. Oh no. In which you play as quite possibly the edgiest protagonist not named Shadow the Hedgehog, and is somehow even more of a lunatic than in previous Metal Gear games. I don't know how they did it, but they did. Your boy Raiden, you know, the dude who got kidnapped by the Patriots, Metal Gear Solid 4, and now he's a cyborg and he's really, really cool. The living embodiment of peace was never an option. Yeah, you play as him in his quest to find the most efficient way to dismember the majority of the world population. The answer is horizontal. Throughout the course of the game, Raiden hacks and slashes his way through not only the entire opposing force, but without any sense of subtlety whatsoever. Metal Gear games may have the word stealth ingrained onto their brains, but your boy Joe Raiden looks at that precedent and thinks, what's a stealth, before proceeding to commit various atrocities that may or may not violate the Geneva Conventions. No, I'm not going to research that. You can't make me. Along his travels, Raiden encounters people of varying plot significance, such as the aforementioned Cambodian nihilist, Sweet Home Alabama, the French one, America, and the best character in the game, Sam Rodriguez, baby! So, there's like a dog. What the dog do? But I can gush about the gameplay, the plot, the characters, the meme. No, that's not the point. No. Get. Today, we're gonna discuss something that's been floating around for wait a minute, when did this game come out again? 2013? Are you mad? Oh, I just feel old. We're not gonna get distracted by the immovable passage of time yet. We're gonna get distracted by the fact that this game does not have a sequel. It's because Konami and Kojima hate each other. Oh, I swore I would save it to the end. Probably the biggest nail in the coffin for Metal Gear Rising 2, or any Metal Gear game for that matter, no, Survive doesn't count, that game should not count for anything, is the fact that everybody's favourite publisher, Konami, and everybody's favouritely, totally logically coherent writer, Hideo Kojima, are not on good terms in a nice way and in a less nice way. Both parties would rather brush their teeth with barbed wire than ever work together again. Just a quick Google search will show you that these guys probably won't be sending Christmas cards to each other anytime in the near future. And worst of all, that Platinum Games, the poor souls who actually stuck around and made Rising, they've gone on record multiple times saying, hey, we'd like to make the sequel to this, but you two are arguing, so we're not gonna make it. It's like, Konami, Kojima, why can't you get along, man? I mean, could you at least make another Jetstream Sam spin-off? That'd be nice. Although, on the topic of Jetstream Sam, arguably the second most enduring aspect of Rising, don't worry, we'll get to the first in a minute, just you wait, is the menagerie of maniacs you find yourself fighting across the entire game. As previously mentioned, you have Monsoon, the nihilistic one who for some reason really, really likes memes. You've got the dog, who is the edgiest name possible. I mean, Blade Wolf? Come on! You have Mistral, the French one, who... And there's the bold American one, Sundowner, who describes himself straight up as an honest warmonger, so that's all you really need to know about him. You got Sam, the Brazilian one, who I promised myself I wouldn't gush about because he's really, really cool. And then the other American one, Senator Armstrong, who is somehow even more insane than Sundowner, which is honestly kind of impressive, but don't worry, we'll talk about him later. And I would mention the good guys in the game, but they aren't really that cool. I mean, there's the Russian one who says the funny Solid Snake line, but yeah. But cycling back to the actual good characters in the game, these guys are one of the pieces of why Metal Gear Rising is still being talked about. Each one of them is so distinct. Within seconds of being on the screen, you get an instant feeling about what they're about and how they go about their ethically ambiguous business. You got Sam, Smug, Coy, and just the coolest character in the game. No, I'm not gonna gush about him, I promise. You got Mistral, the child of war who desperately seeks ideals to justify the constant bloodshed. You have Monsoon, the guy who, he's got a lot to say, like, we get it, you like memes, but just shut up. Sundowner, who is
like the good old days after 9/11.
Yeah. Senator Armstrong, who, yes, I'm gonna put him off again. We'll talk about him later. What makes these characters so good is how absolutely integral they are to Rising as a whole, and to strip them down or replace them in any capacity would be honestly a disservice. I mean, imagine Sundowner without his insatiable bloodlust. Metaphorically and literally, his machetes are literally called bloodlust. I mean, this guy is a lunatic, and I'm here for it. Imagine Monsoon without his painfully long monologue. It'd probably be a lot better. Sam without his confident swagger and I am better than you attitude. It just would not be the same. It has to be this way with no compromises, no alterations, no nothing. And speaking of it has to be this way, I will not pull any punches. Metal Gear Rising has one of the best, most complete soundtracks in any game I have ever played. Top to bottom, banger to banger. Thematically rich, rhythmically genius, lyrically unparalleled. And yes, this is my cue to gush about the bosses again, because I'm not gonna stop, they're really cool. From the first scuffle, interaction, punch thrown, sword swung in general vicinity, you can tell that this game is gonna be a treat on your ears. I mean, just this list alone: Rules of Nature, I'm My Own Master Now, A Stranger I Remain, The Stains of Time, Red Sun, Collective Consciousness, and the pièce de résistance. I think I said that right, I don't speak French. It has to be this way. Yes, it's the same song from all those memes with all the punches. Yes, it's a banger all the way through. And the best part about these songs, in my humble opinion, is the implementation. Each boss fight starts with no lyrics, just the instrumental track, and it's really good, you know? The instrumentals, especially for Stains of Time and Red Sun, two of my personal favorites, they're bangers, you know, top to bottom, like I said. But as the fight progresses, the bosses start to take you as a threat, and then the lyrics kick in. And oh boy, do they kick in hard. Look no further than Sundowner's boss theme, Red Sun. Quite possibly the best lyrical drop of any game I've ever played. Just watch and listen. Scenes like this is why I love Metal Gear Rising. It knows what it is, and it doesn't try to be anything else. And what is it, you may ask? Well, pure, unadulterated carnage. Think back to the section about bosses that I spoke about. Could any other franchise pull those off as consistently and with the same aura of just insanity? Maybe GTA? Far Cry? Not modern Far Cry, but that's beside the point. And once again, speaking of pure insanity, I've put it off for long enough. Let's talk about the big bad balding bullet himself, Senator Stephen Armstrong.
Nanomachine, son.
At first glance, Armstrong has a startlingly low amount of screen time, and honestly, yeah, he does. He's only in for like the last hour or so of game time, and most of that hour is just cutscenes. I mean, he only appears in the final act, and that small little cutscene you have in the sewer level, I believe, is completely optional. So why is he revered as much as he is as a villain, considering he is nowhere near the presence of, say, just off the top of my head, a Pagan Min, a Vaz Montenegro, and wow, I'm talking about Far Cry a lot. Well, as aforementioned, Armstrong is 100%
insane!
but it's the way he embraces it, and he makes every scene that he's in his own, from his commanding presence and vocal performance to the way he absolutely throttles Raiden. But in my eyes, the best part about Armstrong is once again the boss theme. I'm gushing again. I don't care, sue me. Except, it's not his boss theme. It's Raiden's. Think about it. Not only does Armstrong play into this song unbelievably well, not only is the boss fight itself an absolute riot from top to bottom, not only is this one of the best presentations of Raiden's inner turmoil, no, we're not talking about the monsoon scene again, above all else, Armstrong is just entertaining. So many games nowadays fall into the pit of having an antagonist that's just a flat, boring villain, nothing but an obstacle to overcome to pad out the runtime of the game. Armstrong, and all the other characters for that matter, take this concept and skewer it harder than Nomani at the start of the game, presenting complete, fleshed out characters with goals, motivations, and above all else, they're fun. It's fun listening to them drone on and on, apart from Monsoon, sorry, but it's just too damn long. I like memes as much as the next guy, but just stop, please. It's fun hacking and slashing them to pieces. It's fun cutting shapes to their boss themes like it's 3 AM and you've had too much to drink. It's fun playing the game. Metal Gear Rising is just amazing. I don't have any other way to put it other than it's amazing. Go and play it. Even though Konami don't want you to because they refuse to port it to next-gen consoles or even the current gen. Why?